The following is going to be how you grow a business. And in this context, I'm going to use a business that I have built myself, and it is making companies more money. That is the business I am in. Okay, so I'm going to lay out the framework and exactly you need to start a business. This is all you need. You do not need to file an LLC, take 3 months, pay some egregious amount of money to build a business. It's just this. This is how you build a business. Watch. You need a demographic. What does the person look like that you're going to be selling to? You need a solution. A solution is going to be the reason they're justifying paying you. The easiest solution in the history of time is making other people money. So in this case, if you're a med spa and you make $5,000 a month, you want to make $10,000 a month. The person who runs the making money business, is going to come to you and make you money. That is the solution. So we're not going to confuse this. I'm just going to call it the service. What are we providing to the demographic? What is the offer? We're going to talk about that in a second. So here's the framework. It's just 3 things. This is how you start a business. What is your offer? What makes you different? Okay. Well, what makes you different in what? Oh, what makes you different in your service? That's the baseline, your service. Well, what is your service? Well, your service has to be provided to a certain kind of person. Oh, what is your demographic? That is the kind of person. So let's start with demographic. We want to be helping. I'm going to do this challenge med spas. Now, med spas are actually a very bad niche to target. This is a very saturated niche. Everyone and their mom does med spa marketing. So don't do this. Don't follow what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you if I can succeed in a very saturated area, you can succeed in an unsaturated area. So our person is med spa owner. So this is James. James owns a med spa, right? So that's going to be the person we're targeting. We're going to target appointment setting. So we're going to target appointment setting because as you know, medical spas, they do stuff like Botox and IVs and just different services. They make money off an appointment. An appointment, like I used in the example for Jane, it's worth a number of dollars, typically like $100, $200, $300, right? So we're going to be setting appointments. And based off appointments, we're creating an offer. Well, if you just come to James, you're like, James, for $1,000 a month, I'm going to make you $10,000 a month. Yay. He's not going to buy from you. Like, you have nothing valuable. So there's a different way to curate it. So if you're going to say, James, I'm going to book in 10 appointments per month to you. At very least, I want it to be 40, but let's just say at the very least, I'm booking in 10. Now, James, if I book in that 10, you have to pay me for month 1. And then once I book in the 10, you also have to pay me for month 2 and 3. And you're charging $1,000 a month. So what does this mean? Well, you're telling James, well, James, you can't even pay me. I won't let you pay me until I book in 10 appointments, right? So James is going to be like, no brainer. It's no risk. It's basically, I pay this guy once I get paid. Let's do it, right? So this is going to make your offer really good. This is going to make all the Jameses in the world buy from you, right? But I know what you're thinking. Oh, Blake, I'm a beginner. How can I know I'm going to get 10 in? Well, I'll get to that in a second. You rely on other people who aren't beginners to get you that 10, and you know for sure it's going to happen. But what about, what are you making, all right? So once you get the 10, so let's just assume you can get the 10 appointments for James. What are you making? Well, my whole point in this is, okay, James, I'll take the risk in the beginning if I get more of a reward in the end. So what I'm going to do with James is I'm charging $1,000 per month, right? Typically, if I charge $1,000 per month, I get paid $1,000 in month 1, $1,000 in month 2, $1,000 in month 3, right? But me, Blake Martin, I want $3,000 within a month because I'm greedy. But me, let's say I want to have $3,000 in just a month. I don't want to have to wait all 3 months. So that's going to be harder to convince someone, right? No, not if you're able to curate your offer in a certain way. So here's the thing. James says, no brainer, book me 10 appointments. I'll sign on the dotted line. You're going to say to James, okay, James, when I book 10 appointments, you pay me $1,000. You pay me $1,000, right, for that 10 appointments. But I'm going to work for you for another month and another month. But you're going to pay me for month 2 and 3 before I even do it because I proved to you I can book them in. So that's what I call a paid in full. So on day 30, right, let's say on day 30, I'm going to draw a little box right here. Day 30, you break that 10 barrier. If on day 30 you break 10 appointments, you just made yourself $3,000 in 30 days. Now, alternatively, If you just said to James, oh, James, I'm going to charge you every month and there's no guarantee. Well, one, James wouldn't buy from you because he doesn't know because there's no guarantee. He doesn't know if it's going to work or not. And two, you don't make $3,000 until 90 days from now. So by creating your offer in a way that eliminates risk for the other person while capitalizing off of a better outcome, if you're able to do what you say you're going to do, you win better. So that's the offer. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Our offer is to med spas. We will be booking in appointments for med spas to make the money. Our offer, it's going to be either 10 or 15 appointments. And the second we book in that many appointments into their calendar, they have to pay us $3,000 that very day. That is going to be our offer. It's going to be for med spas, and we're going to be booking them into their calendar. So I know what you're about to tell me. Well, Blake, maybe I could deal with this whole sales thing, but how do I know I can get those 10 appointments? This is how. So I want you to meet my friend. His name is a pipeline, aka the most beautiful thing in the entire world of existence. A pipeline represents the different stages. Pipeline stage number 1 is cold, meaning they don't know about your med spa. And then sold. That means they already bought from you. You want them to go from cold to sold, and between those 2 points, you have to do a series of small wins to get the big win. Notice how this keeps coming back, aka all of business is built off of that, right? But anyways, so cold to sold. So there's really 2 or 3 main stages. So one stage is called the lead stage. As in, they now know about you and you know they're interested in your product. So I'll get to how that works in a second. Now, the next stage is the close stage, which means you actually confront them and say, hey, lead, person that wants to buy my product, do you want to actually buy my product? Like, do you want to come into the office? And from here, they say yes or no. If the answer is yes, it is sold. If the answer is no, it is a dead lead, right? So that is how a pipeline functions in the easiest sense. So how are you, someone with zero experience, going to get them to go from cold to sold without everyone dead, right? Let me show you how. So there are 2 things you need to do to get them from cold to sold. One is lead gen, that is generate the lead itself. And the other one is appointment set. So that is setting the appointment itself. So first, let's forget about appointment setting, how you actually generate the lead. Well, it's just called Facebook ads, as you know. Now, here's the beauty. You don't have to do the Facebook ad. Someone else will do it for you. It's called white labeling. Okay, now here's the beauty of it all. You don't have to do the lead gen yourself. Someone's going to do this for you. I don't know if you've ever been on like AliExpress or like at Temu or like some of those apps that like ship products from China. Sometimes it'll just be in a white box. It has no label. That means it came straight from the manufacturer, right? A brand doesn't represent it. So what white labeling means in terms of manufacturer, someone's actually delivering the service behind the curtain, so your client doesn't know it, and you and your client are both benefiting from that person's work. They're getting paid a little bit amount of money, you're getting paid a good amount of money, and your client's getting a lot of money. So this is how it works. Basically, someone's got to do the lead gen. So the person doing the lead gen, let's call it Dan. Dan's going to run Facebook ads. So his lead gen machine is Facebook, right? So what does Dan do? Dan puts out a little photo, and this photo is going to say like, click, right? So click here if you want to put in your phone number, right? And let's say for the photo, it's a little chair, right? And you got the person sitting on the chair, and then the nurse is like, helping the person out, right? And the nurse is like giving the person the med spa treatments. This looks like someone's giving birth, but we're going to ignore that fact. So basically, Dan created a Facebook ad post. This is what it looks like, standard ad, right? The person sees it. They see the med spa, and then it says, click to learn more. So they click a button. That button is going to take them to a form. They put in their number and their name. Now this right here, this is a lead. Jessica, phone number. You know, someone named Jessica gave you their phone number because they want that. Now what you have to do is get Jessica to go on the website of the med spa and book herself in, so you book an appointment for your client so you get closer to breaking that 10. So again, you haven't done any of this. Dan, the magic man, has gone and built your Facebook ad, generated you leads. So this is all hands off. Someone's doing this for you. Now, I want you to understand, I wanted you to keep in the back of your mind, this is going to cost you $300 per month. So your total price is $1,000 per month, but after Dan, it's going to cost you, you're going to be making around $700 per month in profit. So it does slim up your margins a little bit, but it's a lot easier to use Dan than having to learn the skill set yourself. So you have a bunch of name and numbers, but what do you actually do with them to make your client money? So I want you to understand something very simple. This is how all of advertising works. You put in $10, right? So what comes out of that $10? A certain amount of leads, right? So let's say 5 leads. Remember how I showed you a second ago? It was Jessica and Jessica's phone number. That is a lead. So if there are 5 leads that come out of $10 in ad spend, then you are getting a $2 cost per lead. So you are spending $2 on a lead. Now, this isn't realistic. I'm actually going to show you what it should look like. So if we're talking about spending, say, $500 on ad spend, and we know that out of that, 100 leads are generated. So you have 100 different Jessicas, right? So 100 Jessicas are going to be a $5 cost per lead. So you're spending $5 on a Jessica and her phone number. Now the question is, a person who's interested in the service, worth $5 to you. You got to figure that out. So what you do is you have to now appointment set them. Well, there's 2 ways to do this. So you have Jessica's phone number and you need to book her in to this calendar, right? To make money. So you can do one of 2 things. You can either text her or you can call her. Now, if you call her, you'll have a higher percentage. I suggest calling her in the beginning because, talking to a person, you're more likely to actually go through with something. But here's how you can actually appointment set without even needing to know how to do any of it. Go to a standard YouTube video of someone doing exactly what I'm showing you right now. Copy and paste the text that they send to the Jessicas of the world to book Jessicas into their clients' appointments. Literally just take the same text, swap out the company name, send that text to your Jessicas, and then you'll be booking them in with similar conversion rates to Jessica. And then you'll be booking them in with similar conversion rates to the other YouTuber you got it from. You see what I'm saying? Again, though, I would suggest calling. I think it's more profitable for you in the beginning. But if you wanted to do text, that's fine too. Maybe you're a little shy on the phone. What I'm saying is you can either find the valuable stuff on YouTube and just replicate that. You don't need skill sets for that. Or you can call them and get good at sales. Either one is fine. So let's keep breaking it down. You're spending $5 on a lead. And I want you to understand a lot of these will go in the trash. Actually, only around 1 in 5 will convert to a possible person. So out of 5 leads, right, you have 5 different people. So you have 5 different people, right? So you call this person and they're like, I was just looking at what would be something I would do right now. Right? Now you're calling this person and they're like, maybe in 2 months, right? They're kind of, they're not really going to go through. This person's like, hell no. This person doesn't even answer their phone. But this person, they weren't really interested. They were ready to get going. Anything, they actually bought from you on the call. They booked in the appointment live in front of your face. They said, yeah, I'm good to go, right? So what does this mean? Well, you spent $5 on this person's phone number. And to get this person to book in, you lost this person, this person, this person, this person, right? So you lost $25 because 5 people times $5 cost per lead. That is $25 cost to acquire a customer. That is called CAC, client acquisition cost. So you now know it cost me $25 to get someone to book an appointment. So let's see if it makes sense, right? So if your close ratio is 1 in 5 people and $500 of ad spend gets you 100 different leads. So then you're doing 100 times 1/5, which is 20. So that means based off a 1 in 5 conversion rate, AKA a $25 CAC, you end up getting 20 appointments for a med spa, right? So if you book these 20 appointments from the 1 in 5, well, first off, congratulations, you just broke that guarantee bubble. You just got paid $3,000. But not even just that. Let's look at what you actually made for your client. So 20 appointments times the $300 average order value is $6,000 in total revenue you generated. Now, of course, there's $500 you had to spend in ad spend, which came out of their pocket. So that's subtracting the $500 in ad spend. So ultimately, what you just did was provide $5,500 in overall return on the ad spend that they spent. as in they plug in 500 and they make back 5,500. So again, back to the thing I was showing you earlier, if 5,500 and they're running on 60% margin, 60% of 5,500 is like $2,700 or something like that. Minus your $995, they still make $1,700 in total profit. Bottom line, that's still worth it for them, right? So to recap it all, this lead gen, this was fully automated. You were given 100 phone numbers. All you had to do as a business person was call 100 random people and say, do you want to book in? Now, out of the 100 random people that you called, 20 of them booked in as actual appointments. You didn't need a skill set. All you had to do was talk to a person. Now, out of the 20 appointments, it was a $300 average. It's $6,000 in revenue, minus ad spend, $5,500 in return. Okay, so you just made a lot of money for someone, and you didn't have to have any skill sets. You didn't have to be anything special. You just made money for someone else, and now you made money for yourself. This is your service. This is how your appointment set, and this is how it all works. Okay, now I'm going to make a small prediction, and this prediction is how I'm going to go from $0 to $10,000 per month, all in just 60 days. Well, I'm going to make a multi-series challenge, as you've seen. So this video we just did, this is the basics. Now, in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover non-basic, which is cold call. We're not going to cover how to create an LLC. We're not going to cover how to formalize a brand or do any of that bullshit. We're going to teach you how to actually make the money. Next video after that, we're going to record how you do Zoom. Oh my God, I can't write. Zoom meetings. What that means is a sales meeting, right? All these people you're going to be pitching online. So to break it down, we went over the basics. Next video, we're going to teach how to cold call, who to cold call, how to generate the phone numbers that you're supposed to be cold calling. After that, we're going to cover how to actually do the sales pitch, how to build a presentation and tie it in with your offer, and ultimately how to close people. And then once they're closed, there's just going to be one more video in the series. And that final video is going to be onboarding and delivery. So the final video is going to be how do you build the system of which you actually beat the guarantee and deliver your product. How do you actually book the people in? I'm going to document me calling the leads that I showed you a second ago. And I'm going to document me actually getting sent the money that I received for doing the delivery itself. Now, what I just showed you is exactly how I'm going to get from $0 to $10,000 per month, all to show you that anyone watching these YouTube videos wondering what tricks to do, what demographic to approach, what's the best business model, don't do any more of that. I did it for 2 years. And it wasn't the 2 years of watching YouTube and reading books that got me to start doing this shit. It was the 2 years of driving myself insane that I had to realize that was not the way to actually start making money and doing stuff. I asked you one thing. Understand what I'm saying on these videos, and then after you understand it, replicate what I do. Just copy me. Use the same cold call scripts. Hell, call the same niche if you want to. And finally, the most important thing you do, not copy what I do, but do the same quantities of what I do. I count quantities not in the amount of calls I made, but in the amount of hundreds of calls I made. Because it is so important that your input is so large that your output has to be half decent. That is how I see it. Cool, so that was the video. Let's go make some money. See you in the next one. Bye.